This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back to the show. We are joined by the owner of Enchanting Escapes Travel and Laurie Beckmann joining us here live today to talk about not only your travel company and, of course, these destination weddings, all the beautiful, amazing wedding venues that she has, especially here in New York. We're going to talk to her about stateside weddings and really how she could be of such help to so many. Honeymoons and travel. There's so much to get to today. So thank you for being here, Laurie. How are you?
Thank you so much, Jill. I'm great.
Great.
It's been a busy winter. Obviously, wedding season is a little slow right now, so this is when I do my most travel. And one of the most exciting things I did this winter, actually two things. I know we chatted about beaches last time we chatted. So I had my whole family at Beaches Negril, which is the best way to do a family vacation. And this time we even had a butler, so somebody else ran up and down the beach to get those babies their goodies.
Oh my goodness.
But last month I just actually literally came back, I think last week from Europe. So I was in Europe for a couple of weeks. I attend the River Cruise Conference every year, which is amazing. We had 15 ships, 12 different companies, because so many people just don't realize that river is not just river cruise, that there's so many options that you can do, and each of the companies are different. And it's so important to go and see what they're all up to. So, river, there were some honeymooners on the river cruise. So, it was exciting to see as another alternative for those that don't want to go to the beach.
Yeah. Well, I was looking, it's funny. I saw an ad a few weeks ago, and I have a 9 and 11-year-old, two boys, and I thought about taking them to Europe for like a Christmas river cruise. I was seeing all these beautiful markets and stuff I know nothing about, but this is something I'm sure you are very knowledgeable in, correct?
Oh, yes. River cruises, the Christmas markets are definitely one of the high points, one of the busiest times. I do have clients right now wandering through the Netherlands doing a tulip cruise, and I have others that just literally got on AMA Waterways this morning for their Danube, Budapest to Prague. But the Christmas markets are great. And, that's a great one to do for family. I think that sometimes people don't realize that some of the ships do accommodate multi-generational. Actually, speaking on that, AMA Waterways is the cruise line that Adventures by Disney uses.
Oh.
So it's a little more unusual in the sense that it has a few connecting cabins, the ability to have 3 in a cabin. So definitely, it's, you're not packing and unpacking, which is, so great about river cruises. They're taking you through a country. They are, they're all about pulling up into little villages, and you just literally walk off the ship. It's a small ship. If there's 6 people on a gangway, that's a crowd. It's such a totally different experience than your ocean.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry we just were totally sidetracked at river cruises, but that's one of the many things you do, plus your own venue. So go ahead.
Yeah, river cruise is where my love is right now. And I've been doing a lot with that, as it's been such a great way to see Europe. Europe is definitely a hot item. There's also a new company coming out that does full charters, which actually somebody thinking of a destination wedding in Europe can actually do a full charter of a river cruise called Transcend. And what's so great with that is when you do that charter, you choose the itinerary.
Wow.
So, they're really opening up to even doing destination weddings in that kind of way, besides just doing the Caribbean. A lot of times people just think of a destination wedding on the beach, and there's definitely other ways to do it and other areas to do it. So that's another thought that's neat. That's coming out, I think next year is their first launch.
Okay.
Um, the other one coming on the river, which is huge, is Celebrity.
Really?
Celebrity Cruise Line's coming on the river. So we learned about her ship. She'll launch towards the end of 2027. And I have a feeling that's going to bring a whole new contemporary market to the rivers.
Amazing. Well, thank you for
Yeah.
sharing this. And for those new timers out there, just tell us a little about your history, of where are you from and how you
Sure.
got into this, and then we'll get down to details of what we want to discuss for today.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm in upstate New York, and I started 43 years ago with a wedding venue.
Yeah.
Um, we started by doing weddings in our historic home, which is from the 1700s. And from there, we evolved to designing a gathering space sort of in my backyard. So we were the first 30 some odd years ago to create something look like a barn, although we're a much more refined barn, heating, air conditioning, carpeting. It's, whitewashed. It's not dark
Mm-hmm.
with windows and privacy, which is great. And from there, it led me into the travel about 12 years ago, starting with destination weddings as one of my thoughts, because not everybody's in a position to do stateside weddings anymore. Stateside weddings have become quite an investment, and it's not always the right move. And a lot of times couples just don't realize there's
Wow.
other options. And so we're discovering that's happening again, sort of in this economic market, it's happening again, and destination weddings are popping back up because I can send you to Sandals to go get married on the beach, and it doesn't cost you much more than your honeymoon, which is a
Amazing.
huge difference than the stateside weddings.
Yeah, I think I told you I went to the my cousin, my friend's wedding last year. It was at Sandals in Turks and Caicos. What an
Yeah.
amazing thing! It's so much more to just. I'm sorry, going out, getting dressed, going to a church, going to a venue, having food stuff, coming home. It's like I just don't enjoy that. And one day if I ever get married, I'm definitely doing a destination wedding. I just feel like it's so
Well,
much more enjoyable. What an experience!
and not only that, you got to spend more time with everybody involved, and the bride and groom got to spend more time. I think there's more quality time that happens by doing that destination wedding. And I've done it for two, and I've done it for 80. And I think that's the other thing too that is happening. I actually have a couple of different couples on a Sandals does a virtual wedding party to talk more about their weddings twice a month. And I have
Mm-hmm.
several couples going on this evening. And, so I've done several weddings where it's just the two of them. And they come back and just do a small reception later. And I think that that's not a bad idea. It just is gotten so overwhelming. But when you do have your family and friends there, I think you get so much more time. I have a wedding coming up in May, actually at Beaches and a Grill,
Okay.
and 7 people. And it's very funny because the father of the bride is one of my DJs at my stateside venue.
Oh wow.
And so, when I've spoken with the bride, I've said, look, your father and I both say do stateside weddings, and we're saying get on the airplane. So she's going to Beaches and a Grill, and after this wedding, they're going to go on to Sandals, where it's just couples, and have a honeymoon, and everybody else goes home. So it works out really well.
Amazing.
So, but with the destination weddings, I just think that there's sometimes you get more out of it. Granted, it's difficult if somebody that's really important to you won't travel.
Amazing. Well, thank you. There's so much to talk about for today. Do you have an area of focus for us? Did you want to dive more into river cruises? Did you want destination weddings? What
It's
did you have in
great.
mind? There's so much.
River cruises are really um, my thought today.
Sure.
Actually, after conference, I went down to the south of France and hung out for a few days in Ile-sur-le-Surge, and then hopped on Ama Christina, where we went from Arles to Lyon, which was absolutely fabulous. and went to truffle farms,
Oh,
went to
wow.
Olive Gardens. Yep, they use Labradors. This farm actually used Labradors to find his truffles. Um, they don't seem to use the pigs as much anymore because the pigs are not as controllable. They eat the truffles.
Oh my goodness, that's right.
So, I think that I know that river cruise and expedition ship is really booming. And as you can see with somebody like Celebrity trying to get online and some of these other ocean cruise lines
Yeah,
sneaking into the rivers, that it's definitely the next growth. I think that it's something that's on a lot of people's bucket list. I do find that for traveling Europe, it's such a great way because you also end up in little villages that you wouldn't necessarily get to by car.
interesting. Yeah, you're
You
right.
know, you experience areas and you can literally just step right off the ship and walk into the little villages. I'm very active, so I love the fact that I can step off the ship and my bikes are right there and have done, 7, 10, 20-mile bike rides right off the river cruise ship. So that's, sometimes people think it's just for a more senior clientele, but we're seeing a much more younger market coming onto the river.
Wow. I'm really
Um,
excited. Now you got me thinking about these Christmas market ones for my kids. I'm sorry.
oh my
I
God,
can't wait to
yes.
do the adult ones one day, but I got to focus on them. This is amazing.
In last November, I was on a Tauk river cruise,
Oh,
Danube to Vienna. And it was great because we landed in Vienna as the Christmas markets were just opening.
okay.
So we were at the Schönbrunn Palace and the Christmas markets were all getting ready to go. And it's definitely magical. They really do Christmas a different way over there. And one of the interesting things is one of my favorite things at the Christmas markets is the glue wine, the hot wine.
Oh, what's I never heard of this. Wait,
Oh my
what?
God, it's like a mulled wine, but in Europe they have
Okay.
mulled wines with rum and
Oh, wow.
apples and all sorts of things. And Vienna is very environmentally conscious. So what they do is they actually serve it in real mugs, and you do a deposit on your mug, but you can keep your mug. I have one from the Schönbrunn Palace, or you give it back and you get your deposit back. And there's something so elegant about watching people wander around these Christmas markets with like real mugs in their hand instead of disposables.
Yeah, right? Ah,
But yeah, so that was great. And Tauk was a really fabulous experience. They take care of you from beginning to end. Your private transfer is there at the airport with the little sign, and then you're taken care of until they literally private transfer you back to the airport. So that was one of the things that I found so different than some of the other lines. And the other thing they did, which was fascinating, is we were visiting maybe the palace in Budapest. And all of a sudden, the tour director went out giving us little slips of paper. And what they were tokens to go into the ladies' room if we needed to, because in Europe, a lot of the bathrooms need coinage.
mm-hmm.
They're not free. And so taking care of you to that point was just like, okay, this is definitely a step above. Not that the other cruise lines aren't great, but that was definitely wow, paying down to the smallest detail. And that's one of the reasons I go to the conference because we have so many different levels. I don't think most people realize, like I was with 15 ships and 12 different companies, and companies from complete luxury like Tauk to doing something really simplistic like
Mm-hmm.
Amadeus, where you chose and paid extra for your excursions because maybe you just wanted to get off the ship and wander through the villages on your
Yeah.
own. So there's a great diversity of where you can go with the river. It's easily as diverse as the ocean.
Yep.
And the other thing I don't think people realize is we have river cruises in Egypt, in Africa, in Vietnam, and actually even in South America now on the Magdalena River.
Okay, where's the Magdalena River? I'm just asking.
Down in Colombia.
Oh gosh, thank you. From us that are not as familiar with the travel world, thank you, thank you,
I
thank you.
know it's just it's amazing, and I'm not a big ship cruiser at all. I don't get on the big ships anymore. 4,000 of my favorite friends getting on and off is just not my idea. Although, I know for a lot it's great. It's a great multi-gen way to do it. But river is definitely becoming an amazing, amazing opportunity and a great way to see Europe. And there are small ships that do go around Italy and areas where we don't have river. And there's actually a couple of river cruise ships even going around Venice and the small islands, which is exciting because, a lot of people go to Venice and they're just in the main part of Venice, not exploring the other little islands outside of Venice. So that's, just a different way to do it. So definitely, yes, take your kids to the Christmas market, have some glue wine.
Amazing. I'm learning so much today. Wow. And then, but no, I just have to ask though, before we do a river cruise, I was thinking like a Lapland trip though, because they're 9 and 11. The whole Santa thing's still
Huh?
kind of cool. But I'm like, I want to do that too. In like Finland, right? Norway. Where is
Yeah.
all this?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yes. Up in Finland where they have the reindeer and Santa Claus
Yes.
Village. You have to book that over a year in advance. I had clients
That's what I
last
figured.
year
Yep.
that thought
Uh-huh.
they wanted to do that. And I think we started maybe August, and there was absolutely no availability. So you definitely need to do that far in advance. But that's really exciting too. And there's trains that take you up into the Santa Village, and you can stay there with the reindeer and igloos. You can go sleep in an igloo at night with the sky and the northern lights. So that's definitely an incredible experience as well for the Christmas themes. And I believe there's also another village out in Washington State. I know I had researched that for the clients, but I'm drawing a blank and I'd have to go Google again. Uh,
No problem. No problem.
but yeah, at 9 and 11, that's a perfect age for Europe.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm going to work on that. Might need your help. But, really with your company, I mean, you mentioned river cruises. I think Europe, but there's a lot of river cruises here in the United States too, right?
Oh my gosh, yes, we have the Mississippi and we have the Columbia Snake River. Um, Mississippi, you can actually go from the Great Lakes all the way down to New Orleans.
Really?
Yeah, we have American Cruise Line and we have Viking doing those. They are a little slower paced. So it's perfect though for those that don't want to fly across the pond and get to Europe in the 9 hour flights. And there's different levels of it. For the music lovers, for the food lovers. So what's really neat about the Mississippi River cruises is they have a lot of different themes going on. So that's definitely an exciting way to do that. And then the Snake and Columbia River, it's sort of Lewis and Clark. So you have two different kind of feels going on there.
Ooh, I love it. Thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. And by the way, with the work you're doing, you have how many years of experience in this field? I mean, you've been doing this quite some time,
About
right?
12 years. Well,
Okay.
12 years as a travel
But,
advisor, but
uh-huh.
actually, when I was a teenager, I was a private chef in the French Riviera on a small ship. So Antibes and Nice along the Mediterranean coast. I spent a summer. And then I backpacked Europe from Rome to Copenhagen with the so-called boyfriend and the Eurail pass. And then after we got married, we went back and did it again for a month. And then we have one son who's now retired from the US ski team as a downhiller, followed him around the world. So as far as the travel goes, a lot of travel experience. As far as a travel agent and a travel agency owner, it's been about 12 years.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Is there any
Yeah.
place that you haven't gone to yet that you want to go?
Oh yes, I tell everybody the polar bears. I want to
Really?
go to the Arctic. I want to see the
Ah,
polar bears. So Northwest Passage is my hope. This is the year after 43 years that we're hoping to slowly transition out of our wedding venue and hand it to the next generation, so that next year I can possibly travel during the summer months and do some of the travel that I've wanted to do. But polar bears more than the penguins. Polar
Oh,
bears are somehow Antarctica is not at my list yet, but the Arctic with the polar bears is top of the list.
got it.
Um, and also where you're talking, going up into Finland and Norway, I think the Norwegian fjords would be absolutely beautiful.
I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna
Up
have to
in
Google it.
Norway is, with all the little fjord, the small waterways.
Got it. Okay, that's what
And
fjord
that
means. I
would
wasn't
be,
sure. I'm so sorry.
yeah. Oh no, that's, that would be, I think that would be amazing. I mean, there's so many, I get on these webinars and I get so excited. I'm like, oh my God, I want to add that to my list. Um, there's, so many, oh, Croatia. I want to do small ship in Croatia.
Oh, I heard that's beautiful too.
Yes, yes, I've done it for clients. I haven't had to do it yet. And there's also, what's really neat in Europe too is the canal barges where you can bike and barge. That would be exciting while I'm still able to bike and barge.
Amazing. All right. Well,
Yeah.
just to remind everyone, we are here with our friend talking about our enchanting escapes. And Lori Beckman, do you still also have the inn as well?
Well, I haven't been doing bed and breakfast in years, so we just
Okay.
converted
I
that to a
I think we
personal home.
talked about that last time.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, personal home. So just weddings, events, corporate events, the gathering space, we do other things other than weddings. Actually, we just had a really cool first birthday party in it.
Oh, wow.
So, it's a neat event space that's a little more unconventional than others, very bright light and airy. We have had a celebrity wedding there. If people Google, they'll find it, and which was exciting. But yeah, we're probably the longest running same owner venue in the Capital District, if that makes sense. We were
Mm.
the first to work with caterers. But the honeymoon planning and the destination wedding and the travel has really been where I'm going to be leading to as we have a son that's hopefully taking over the wedding world.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
Amazing.
one of those big zero birthdays is coming up, so you
Oh.
you start looking for transitions and um, I know with the travel, what's also a little different is we actually have an office, as you're finding it harder and harder to find retail storefronts with travel agents. So people can actually come into my office. I have a real office.
I love it.
Granted, it's not a typical office. It's a Victorian house on a main drag that we did. So, and I would say that Caribbean and Europe are the two strong points that I focus the most on. And that's where my honeymooners seem to want to go, or the anniversaries. It doesn't have to be a honeymoon, it can be anniversaries, celebrations, or just, reconnecting. I have clients, I just put together a really cool itinerary. They're going to go from Spain into Portugal. Um, and others, Italy is big. I had clients also south of France for a couple of weeks. South of France is one of my destinations that I adore. As charming as Italy and some of the other countries are, every time I go, I'm like, okay, but I really love the south of France. So that's where I seem to keep gravitating back to. And then we spent a lot of time in Germany. My husband's grandmother was still alive when we were dating and when we first got married. So we
Oh.
spent a lot of time in Germany as well, which is beautiful. And they're known for their Christmas markets.
Oh my goodness. I cannot wait. I'm getting so excited to travel. I had to cancel my Aruba trip with my kids this month. I had a flood, car accident, everything, but we're going down
Oh,
to with my Marriott timeshare to the Atlantis, to the harbor
yeah.
harbor side over there. So it's not the main, but we still get to go to the hotel. We're gonna also
Okay.
stay at Baja Mar to check that out to see the difference, right? So I could do a little Bahamas in August. That's my little trip.
Oh, That'll be great. And Baha Mar is gorgeous. It sits right on the same beach that the Sandals Royal Bahamian does.
Oh, okay.
Actually, like if you're at the gates of Sandals Royal Bahamian, you can look over and see Baha Mar.
Didn't know
And
that.
it's really on a beautiful bay, part of that area, which is lovely. You're gonna love it. It's, it's a big, beautiful hotel. It goes all the way to the beach now, I believe. I think they've bought up the other hotels that were kind of in front of it. So I think they go right to the beach now. And that's a beautiful section of the beach. The kids are gonna love it. The Bahamian water is so beautiful. Make sure they get to go snorkeling or do something in that water because there's nothing like the Bahamian water.
Yeah. All right.
Probably the bluest and the most magical. So they'll have a great time.
Good. And just locally, you're in New York. I'm New York, down, a little
Yeah.
further, but I'm also going to take my kids to ready, get this. I was planning on leaving Friday, going up
Mhm.
to the Marriott Falls View on the Canadian side to see Niagara Falls, and then I just realized that the boats aren't open. I don't know if it's worth us still going up there if we can't do like the hornblower or the Maid of the Mist, right? I didn't realize
Yeah,
it.
I think you definitely want to go on the boat, and it's probably because those lakes are still a little
Yeah,
frozen.
I didn't realize that. So now we're looking for alternate
No,
plans for the
but
weekend.
Um, wait, because along the way, the other place to take the boys is Watkins Glen, which
Oh,
is a beautiful state park. And
okay.
they do even light shows at night in there.
Oh,
So Google Watkins Glen, and that's between you and Niagara Falls.
Watkins
So
Glen. Never heard of
Watkins
it.
Glen would be another great place to stop with them. When our kids we have three sons.
Wow.
So when they were young and they needed to be perpetually lunged. We actually had an old RV where I could pile them and their rollerblades and Cheerios and everything in.
Uh-huh. You
We would
remember,
do
yep.
a lot of locations that were just active. And actually, even now that they are well into their 30s, and we now have three little grandbabies that are one, and three, when we go to beaches, we're actually all scuba certified. So beaches is one of the only locations that I've trusted throwing those babies into the daycare so we can all go diving every morning.
Oh my goodness. I
But
love it.
yeah, Watkins Glen is beautiful. The kids would love it.
Oh my goodness. Thank
On
you
the
for
way
the
to
tip.
Niagara Falls.
All right. Well, we're just about out of time. We got to kind of wrap up for today. How did you want to leave off?
I just really love the travel. I love helping get clients find the experience that's right for them. I believe wholeheartedly in using a travel advisor who actually travels. So that, the tips on how to get through airports or what they've experienced, I think is really important no matter who they're using. And I think it's also really important in choosing your travel advisor is make sure you can kind of create a connection. There is unfortunately a lot of spam and fraud out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so definitely insist on a Zoom if it's not a referral so that you know that who you're handing your credit cards and passport information to is somebody legit. I just had a client scammed big time.
No.
Luckily, we've been able to snag it when she, came into my office, but definitely be wary with that and make sure you're working with somebody you can tell is really a legit travel advisor. ASTA does a verified certification, and if you go to their website, you can always make sure you're using verified travel advisors. And just as we're getting fraud throughout everything, that's important. And as far as the travel advisors traveling, I used to tell clients I would go so that I could see what was outside the viewfinder. But now with AI, I'm traveling around to make sure it's even in the viewfinder,
Wow. They,
because
yeah.
you don't know anymore. So
All right. Well,
just in that case, and definitely with the world being as tumultuous as it is that a right word?
yeah.
You want to use a travel advisor because I'm the one that sits on 1-800 when your flights get canceled, when something gets changed, when you need something, even no matter where you are. My
Of
clients who
course.
travel, when they're traveling, they're told, don't call me, text me, let me know. Even if it's 2 in the morning, I'm there to help.
All right. Well, thank you. And let's tell the website before we go. Sorry, we are out of time. And I'm going to just say it. It's enchantingescapes.net, right?
Thank you. Easy.
No, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. A pleasure having you. And we'll talk again hopefully soon. Thank you so
Yep.
much.
Have a
Bye.
great day.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.